All right, here we go. What's happening, guys? Can you all hear me? Can you all see what's going on? Hey, no tunes today. Guess what? YouTube picks up on on the tunes and says, "Hey, you know what? Even though you're streaming live, we're going to hit you with the copyright thing." So that kind of sucks. Anyway, is everyone ready to go? Is everyone ready to jump in? And can everyone see the screen? And can everyone hear me? Just give me a little confirmation by telling me where you are tuning in from. All right, who's here? Okay, and where are you tuning in from? Let me know. Yes, awesome. So here we are for session number 4. Can you believe it? We're at session 4 already. We're only just scratching the surface, okay? Who has enjoyed this stuff so far? We've got so many people. We've got like Ohio, Rotterdam. Someone's here at the Noosa Golf Club. Tyler's at the Noosa Golf Club Resort. Nate from Vancouver. Miguel, Henry from Gold Coast, Australia on a Saturday morning. Very, very nice. Seattle, Santa Monica, Germany. China. What's up, Kevin, over there in China? Shane, good to see you there. In Kilmore. Unreal. Good old Kilmore. Sweet. Norway as always. Okay. Beautiful. So, guys, today's going to be really fun. It's the end of the week, and I've got I've got a workshop here for you to do. You can do it over the weekend, or you can do it next week. I know that freedom business is going to be on your mind this weekend. So, yeah, who's ready to kind of choose their product or choose what they want to launch, what they want to get into? Maybe you've been considering, if you've got a business, maybe you've been considering doing other products or other services or anything like that. Or maybe you don't have a business and you're just like, all right, here we go, blank slate. Tim's here, we've got the living course, and I'm ready to just rock and roll. So let me kick things off. And I hope you've seen the other trainings, because I'm going to ask you at the end of this whole thing to make a decision. All right. Now, remember, we're walking through this tunnel, and each step of the way is kind of lighting up as we go. Okay. And this whole training is all about launching a new product or choosing a great business idea, whatever it is, choosing the product to launch, choosing a business idea, whatever it is. Okay. So at the end of this, I'm actually going to ask you to make a decision, and you can either say yes and go for something and go all in on that decision, or you can say no and choose not to do it and just continually do what you're already doing now. And both of those things are totally fine with me. You can say yes to your new idea, to your new thing, and go for it. Or you can say no, I'm actually happy at my current business. I'm happy with the products and stuff that I'm launching. And both of those things is okay. But what you'll learn through this is kind of how to apply that stuff. So either it's a big yes at the end of this thing and you go all in on your new idea and new product and launch, or it's going to be a no. But I am going to ask you to make a decision. Now, here's the thing. In SSM, maybes are not, it's not even in our language. Maybe I'll do this launch, blah, blah, blah. Who's done a maybe business launch before? All right, let me know in this little thing here. I'm sure a lot of you, maybe I'll do that thing. Maybe that's not in our vocabulary. All right, it is going to be a yes and all in by the end of this, or a no, and I'm totally fine with either of those. All right, so let's get to the end of the call and let's see how we do. All right, this is cool. I love doing this live. I love that we can tune in live and actually see this happen and actually see your freedom business come to life as we go through this. And this is only, the first little sessions that we've been doing. So yesterday, who enjoyed this? Okay, you've got the energy and the weight sides of things. Okay, you've got the energy, which is elements in your life that spark joy, produce growth, and grow confidence. And that's things like people in your life and things as well. And there's the weight items. Okay, anything that kind of drains energy, anything others do better, and nowhere relationships. I'm really curious as to what you found out of that. Okay, which elements really resonated with you in terms of what were the weight elements that you decided to cut out, or maybe the energy items that you decided to boost. I'm really curious. So if you have any there, just throw them in the little chat, because we're here in the living course, and it's great because I can see the chat, I can see where you're going, and I can see where things move. And yeah, today's like workshoppy, all right? So it's been a little bit conceptual over the last couple of days, but this one we're actually going to dive in. We're going to roll the sleeves up. We're going to do some work. And as I said, there's going to be that decision at the end, all right, that you're going to have to make. Hey, do I go all in on this thing or do I not? That's cool. Either one or the other. There's no maybes in this world, all right? So good chat, and I've seen some great little questions come up. So, like before we begin, okay, like we do on all the calls, I'm going to take a sip of my water here. Who's got like a beverage with them, like a coffee or like a, you know, especially if you're over there, in Australia waking up, or you're probably like trying to keep yourself awake over there in Europe. I'm going to take a sip right here. And then we're going to start the session as we have, all connected and ready to go each time. So we're going to take a collective breath together. Are you ready for this? Okay, so I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. And out. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. In. And out. All right, because it's a Saturday here and it's the end of the week, we need one more. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, in. And out. All right, awesome. Hey, sip that green tea, that beer over there, whatever it is. Christoph's always drinking water. And let's begin. So we're talking about business ideas here. We're talking about building new businesses and launching new ideas. And, you know, there's some ways that you can go about this stuff, okay? And I want to show you one very important word in our community. It's really, really crucial. And you might be able to guess what it is if you've been following me for a while. The word is swaggerjack, all right? I love this word. I actually love this word. Now, there's a story behind this. Now, so when I first started building these little online businesses, I'd like, you know, as you know my story now, like I found these people in this kind of secret society. And it's funny, one of my team members here, yesterday we were sitting down, we were building out for some of our Antares projects. And he's like, so the Secret Society Mastermind, that's like the most dope name ever. Like it's such a cool name. How did you come up with the name Secret Society Mastermind? And I said, look, dude, to be honest, like the name just, it came out of the story of the business. So like, you know, I was running around like meeting these people and I had these little mentors and like I truly felt like I'd go to a cafe each day, I'd open up the laptop and I'd be working on my little business and each day I'd see these people walk in like at like 9 a.m. to get their morning coffee in their suit and they were all miserable and they were walking to work and I was like, that contrast between my life and their life, I felt like I was in some sort of secret society. And like my favorite movies are like James Bond and all those like kind of like secret agent movies. And so I felt like, and I still feel like, I mean, I'm coming to you live here from freaking Bali and like people literally look at us like who are these guys? What do they do? And it's funny, I don't know whether you can hear this. I'll clink it. We have this little medallion that we keep on our key ring called the Freedom Secret Society medallion. So if you remember, you get this medallion and it's so funny. Like, again, you feel like you're in this secret society. So he asked me, he's like, hey, like, how did you come up with the name Secret Society Mastermind? I was like, dude, it comes out of the story. So if you're trying to name your product, right, like it should be born out of the story. And I'm actually helping a friend right now, another like wicked freedom business guy, name his product. He's got an amazing product coming out. It's actually a SaaS business and I'm helping him name that product. And so like the name is born out of the story of the product. And I said, dude, like literally, I felt like I was in the secret society. So I just slapped mastermind on the end and I was like, hey, let's go for it. So the name Swaggerjack, it's funny. I actually swaggerjacked this term swaggerjack from another friend when I was building these first businesses. I was like referring to them as like they're like a freedom business. I just kept saying this, like freedom business. They're like a freedom business. Now you see the term everywhere nowadays, but like he's like, oh yeah, like he's like yeah. And then 2 weeks later, he launched a new product and he started calling it a freedom business. And he's like, yeah, by the way, I swaggerjacked your term, freedom business. And I'm like, oh, okay, man, that's cool, whatever, who cares? So I'm going to show you this process today that allows you to like swagger jack ideas. And what I mean by that is like, landing pages, ideas, campaigns. You can like swagger jack them and apply them to your own like launches. Okay, so one of the laws that I'm going to teach you here in this training is like no invention. All right, you don't want to reinvent the wheel, but there's a fine line between like swagger jacking, like stealing, like what Pablo Picasso said, right? He's like great artists steal, basically. That's what he said. Or I forget the quote, to paraphrase it. Good artists create, great artists steal, something like that, right? What we do here in Freedom Business is we take elements of businesses that are already working, elements that like already have found the green river, and we mold those elements together to create something entirely new, okay? Where you can see like glimpses of like the like source material, but like it really is its own new thing. So let me just show you. Actually, this came like across this week, and it was actually really frustrating because this has happened to me before a lot, and it's happened to a lot of Secret Society members. Because what happens is we build great businesses, and then people end up finding out about them, and then like you start seeing like blatant copies around. Okay, yeah, Tommy, good artist copy, great artist steal. Okay, there we go. All right, I gotcha. So like, let me give you an example here of like what not to do. So, this is Antares. This is, I don't know whether you know this guy, but this is Robert Nicalius, okay? Bobby. And Bobby is the man. So Bobby, I forget what he joined, maybe SSM1 or SSM2. And he went through and he built like this amazing digital agency throughout SSM. And like launched it, and it did really well. And then he became an SSM instructor. And so he's done so great. Like he's just and he's just such a great person. He's also a great teacher. Okay, he's like and a great friend of mine too. So if you get a chance, like go and follow his stuff, sign up to his things, because he's actually got really great stuff on building freedom business as well. He's born out of freedom business land and made it to the other side. So here's his stuff, and he's got this book out, and this book is called the 2-Hour Agency. And it's a really good read, a good book. He's got diagrams in there. So if anyone's looking at actually like creating an agency, Bobby is your man, okay? He is absolutely your man. And he's got this awesome book out. And so I just go and get it. Go and buy it, do whatever, like, because it's just awesome. But here's the thing. So this other guy, okay, that has come across as well, and this guy kind of showed up in my world, and he showed up in Bobby's world as well. This guy like blasted in and purchased the SSM program and jumped in. He was very enthusiastic and very excitable. I was like, oh, cool, this guy's got a good energy. Yeah, hey man, jump in. And he made friends with Bobby, and he jumped into SSM. And then like something really weird happened. He like refunded the program. And I'm like, okay, something must have happened, or he dropped off, and that's no worries. It was inside the refund period, so I just sent him the refund and forgot all about it pretty much. And then anyway, Bobby started like working with him. I guess he built a relationship with Bobby, and Bobby started like doing a little bit of work with this guy. And I'm like, to be honest, I don't really know like what sort of work they did together or anything that they did. But like quite recently, what we've seen pop up is this thing called the 1-Hour Agency, okay, from this same dude. Now, like, I don't like to get involved in any like drama or anything like that, but like, I just thought this was a perfect kind of like moment to kind of show you what I've been talking about, in that if you're going to go and learn from someone, you need to learn from someone who's actually done it, not from someone who's going across and just swagger jacking stuff left and right and like claiming it as their own and just like launching new things and like blatant rip-off stuff. Like, oh, look at this. Entrepreneur, inspiring others to live a life of fun, freedom, and adventure. Okay, so he's just taken like my tagline for the last 9 years and like reworded it. So like, just like, of course, like this is the stuff I've been talking about in terms of like, you've got to be really, really kind of careful as to who you follow, who you talk to, who you look up to, and you've got to be really careful as to what you do. So like this sort of 1 hour agency stuff, and I just can't believe it. Like there's people joining this, like some of my friends are in there. He's probably like doing the same old thing each and every time, and like it just sucks. All right, it just creates a crap vibe, and it also is just, it's just like terrible for like, you know, people who actually like are doing it for real and have done it for real and are teaching for real. And people like Bobby, they offer so much value, and so it's just disgusting to see stuff like this. So again, I never get caught up in drama. I don't like doing that sort of stuff, but like, holy shit, like that's just awful. So guys, just watch out for things like that. And yeah, like just watch out, like for you, just be careful, all right? Because, you know, they may learn the tactics, they may learn the sales stuff, they may have swagger jacked to the sky, but yeah, you'll end up definitely going down the wrong path. And I guess another lesson, and this is very, very important, is that your reputation is everything, okay? Whatever you do, whatever you choose to go down, your reputation in that business is absolutely everything. So if you think you can just go and like copy something and no one will notice, and like, you know, you just know in your gut feeling, you know if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, all right? So I'm just gonna throw that warning out there now, because the training that I'm about to show you is so powerful that it would allow anyone to go and just like copy a business, okay? And that is definitely not part of our philosophy. It's not part of who we are, and it definitely should not be part of who you are, because it's just as easy, okay? It's just as easy to go and build something that is legitimate in the world that will do really great stuff. It's just as easy to go and do that, all right? So with that little warning and that little bullshit out of the way, all right, let's just check this out, okay? Let's start the excitement and start the party, and let's go down the kind of the light side of the force. So I'm going to take another sip here, and off we go. So guys, despite what the media says, and like I've been trying to build this belief in you over the last couple of calls, there's actually never been a better time like this in history, okay? If we look on the left here, there's a graph of like global life expectancy by world and regions since 1770. This is the real data, okay? So you look at the 1950s and then you look at 2015, and like it's just exploding upwards, okay, life expectancy. And that's because of, you know, the evolution of technology, the evolution of resources. This is because of entrepreneurs like us pushing and innovating the world forward for the better, okay? So it's such a life of abundance right now. Now, if you look at the graph on the right, again, despite what the media will tell you, the world population living in extreme poverty. Now, I'm not saying there's no poverty in the world. There, of course, is, but extreme poverty, okay? Check this out. Like, so the red is extreme poverty. Now, almost in 1820, almost 100% of the world was in extreme poverty. How crazy is that? Like, so, you know, your DNA and your ancestors like fought through the most crazy shit for us to get to where we are now, sitting in the comfort of like our home with food, shelter, all the stuff, and internet, okay? They fought to get to where we are now, okay? That's 2015. And have a look at the green area. It's just like, you know, the world is getting pushed forward in a great place. Now, I'm not well rehearsed on, you know, world politics, world data, or any of that. I stay right away from that because I cannot influence that. But what I can influence is that thing in the middle. I can open up that thing, that laptop, and I can build some stuff, okay, that offers value to the world. Now, that what is value? That is something that someone will pull out their wallet and pay for, right? Okay, that is what that is what generates value, okay? Now, whether that's a large corporation investing in some crazy piece of technology, they're pulling out their wallet and buying something of value, or whether you're selling some cool little thing, some gizmo on Shopify that someone finds like really entertaining and awesome, and they pull out their wallet and buy that thing. So it is like, there's never been a better time like this in history. And like, what I don't want you to do, I don't want you to get like 10, 20, 30 more years down the track. Okay. I don't want you to get that far down, like another 10 years. See, I'm 35 now, and I wish I had have brought this attitude into my like 10 years ago when I was 25, because like back then it was the great, there was never a better time. And so like the opportunities are just getting better and better. It's just getting more and more. And like for you, I don't want you to get 10 more years down the track without taking advantage of this opportunity that you have. The way that things are moving and the speed of technology, the speed of creation, just it's incredible. It's crazy. There's like a limitless possibility. So just like let's grab it. Let's grab it. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this training. So I might have mentioned this guy before. This is my friend Patrick. And yesterday I talked about how important it is to like kind of present yourself well to the world, whether it's your branding or whether it's like, how you're dressed or whatever it is. Now Patrick's product is like one of the most sought after like men's hair products in the world. Now Patrick, he started as an electrician, and he woke up one day and he was just like, he turned to his wife and he said, "Look, I just can't do this anymore. I'm an electrician. This sucks. I just can't do it." That's where his story started. And then now he's like he gets flown around the world to like huge crazy things to like show his like hair care, and now he's launched skincare products, and he's just a great dude. But like on yesterday's note, do you know how I met Patrick? I was speaking at an event in Melbourne, and like the first thing he noticed and he said to me, he's like, "Oh, so you've got the big pilot." So he saw the watch on my wrist and he's like, "Ah, you've got the big pilot." And that's how we opened the conversation together. And now we're like bros ever since. And he's spoken at our event in Vegas and done a lot of cool stuff. But I guess the lesson out of that is that like, if you like, it's kind of like, if you know, you know. All right. So when you start building your business, and then you'll start like doing things, you start being in different circles. Like you'll start being in circles like airport lounges. And I've had this happen too, like multiple times. I'll wear this one watch, and it's an expensive watch. Okay. I'm not going to lie. It's like really expensive. And then, so you'll sit there and like the guy's like, this, or they'll like find a way to start a conversation with you. It's an amazing thing. So I just thought of that today. So I wanted to give you that little lesson and talk to you about that. Because that was yesterday's thing. You've got to present yourself to the world. So I'm not saying go out and buy like crazy expensive watches or anything like that. But what I am saying on that note, and Patrick actually gave me this tip on style and fashion, because I've got no idea on fashion and style, but I like it. He said like, don't waste money on like the core basics. Don't waste money on like your basic t-shirts or jeans or things like that. Don't waste money on the clothing items. What you should do is focus on the accessories. Okay, so like when you can, like buy those expensive like shoes, buy those expensive sunglasses, buy those expensive watches, because if you've got those three things, they can dress up any outfit. Any jeans or any shirt can be really like, you can literally just like instantly throw yourself into that top tier with a nice watch, a nice sunnies, and the nice shoes. So I took that to heart, and I always remember that rule when I'm going forward. So there's a little one for you as you go about your Saturday, all right? Don't go and waste your money on crazy stuff. So let's get back to the limitless possibility that we have here, okay? Now, this was a campaign targeted at my cousin. So my cousin James, who spoke at our event in Bali, he actually runs a really great SEO agency with, I think, 15 full-time employees there in Melbourne. And he got targeted by a cold email campaign for this company who produces these videos. So one of his clients is these shoe people, right? Like Birkenstocks, they're called. So that's one of my cousin James's clients. And so this is actually a still image. This is a still image. This is not even a real image. And they've gone and they've converted it into this like animated image, okay? And the price that they quoted James was like quite ridiculous. Like, I can't remember the exact price, so I don't want to say it. But like, to do those animated videos for his clients, okay, was going to cost like a really like large monthly fee, okay, just to do these animated videos. And they were busy with like a lot of clients. So like, the possibility nowadays, okay, is just absolutely ridiculous. All right. And you know what, it takes a bit of this creativity. So well, look what's happened here. They haven't swagger jacked everything. What they've taken like they've taken video, and they've taken that skill and ability to like animate the video, and then they've found someone that might find that thing valuable enough to pull out their wallet and buy it. Okay. So here we have the good old ring ring. Now I just want to reinforce this because today's lesson is going to be massive on this. This is the most important thing with your business. Obviously, right? It's the lifeblood of your business. And again, people are making these transactions, like it's flying around the world, and you know, it's crazy. It's just crazy, the opportunity. So let's contrast this for a second. This is Gary, okay? Gary's not a real person. I don't even know who this is. I just ripped this from Google Images. However, Gary, okay, he spends a lot of time researching. So he gets ideas and he's like, that sounds like a good idea. And he spends like just a crazy amount of time going into the in-depths of every single idea, okay? Goes in and just like, you know, clicks on all the ads and like builds this huge spreadsheet of research. And he goes, oh yes, this is a fantastic idea. And then what Gary does, Gary starts like daydreaming of all the like sales and cool stuff that he's going to make with this new amazing idea that he's researched quite heavily. And then Gary, because he's so excited, he goes to bed and he's like, yes, I can't wait to get to work on this project. Then Gary wakes up the next day and then he's like, what if I can't supply this particular style of the product? I wonder where I can do that. So he starts like researching Chinese companies and reaching out to them and like starts getting quotes for everything and starts like thinking about like, what about this? And then weeks go by of research Gary, and Gary's like put together the entire plan and everything that can go wrong each and every step of the way. He's like, but what if like this happens or this system goes down, then I'll need a backup system, or like if I have this thing, then maybe the client wants this. And then he starts adding like bells and whistles to the product as well. Like, I can't launch it until I've got this thing, and then I better call that Chinese supplier and make sure that they can deliver a large quantity. So you can probably realize what happens with good old Gary, okay? Gary is broke. And what generally happens, Gary then decides that idea is way too hard, and then he just goes on to the next idea. And the research cycle of doom continues, okay? Who relates to Gary, all right? Who has been Gary? I definitely have been Gary many a time in my freedom business career. The reason why I laugh at Gary is because Gary has been me on many of occasion, all right? Tyler, Gary's me circa 2016 to 2018. So just know that pressing go is the hardest thing. Remember, I told you at the start of this call, you're going to have to make a decision, and that decision's fine, whichever way you go, a yes or a no. But we don't do maybes in this thing. Gary is maybe man, all right? Gary is a full maybe man. He's not a yes or a no and go for it. He's a maybe man. So pressing go and going for it is actually the hardest thing. But it is by far the most important thing, all right? So let's look at the line here, okay? I want you to see this line right here, okay? Because I'm going to talk to you about this line a little bit later, okay? I'm going to ask you about this line, all right? So just picture the line here. I want you to burn this image in your brain, the line, all right? Okay, got it? Sweet. So now we're going to move on to the laws of choosing a freedom business idea or a product to launch. All right, you ready? No Gary, we're getting into it. So law one is the law of the golden circles. Now, if you've been in SSM, you'll have seen this before, but it's important to refresh on this too, okay? So I'm going to show you a few things in regards to this. So the golden circles are this. There's three key elements in these golden circles. And this is like pretty much how you choose, this is how you begin the idea process for any product, launch, business, whatever it is. So golden circle number 1 is this little heart here. All right, lovely. So this heart represents passion, excitement, and energy. So yesterday I talked to you about like the activities, the things that bring you energy, that bring you joy. What's really important is don't start or don't set off on any business venture without having some sort of element of heart in it, okay? So if you're like, on the dark side of the force, you're like, I just want the money and I don't give a fuck about whoever buys anything and I'm just gonna swagger jack and just forever be the swagger jack man of doom, going from idea to idea, swagger jacking, making a few sales, and then that business is destroyed, so I have to move on to the next thing. That's just unsustainable for you. It's terrible, and it's a poor start to any product. So what you're gonna have to do is have some sort of like heart in the game, okay? You're gonna have to have some sort of passion. And ideally, the most passion that you should have, guess where you should have the most passion, all right, for it, okay? Like I hear people say like, I've got passion for the business, and I'm like, that's really great, dude. But the most thing that you should have the passion for is the actual end customer, because if you're the one doing the marketing, if you're the one writing the copy, if you're the one doing these things, if you don't have some sort of like heart-to-heart connection with that person, with that product, with the actual person like that pulls out the wallet, then your copy is not going to be great. You're going to be swagger jack, man, and it's not going to like really speak to the soul of the customer and get them to pull out their wallet. So you've got to have some sort of heart in the game, okay? And you don't have to have heart in terms of like all the elements of the business, because there's going to be elements that you hate that you're going to have to get creative and outsource and things, and that's totally fine. That's every business. There's no business out there that is going to be all like glorious and all the time, all right? That's just crazy. So there needs to be some heart in the game, all right? The next thing, all right, is you need some skills, okay? Or you need to be able to acquire these skills via yourself, okay? You need to up your own skills, or you need to be able to outsource certain skills, okay? So Philip here, who's been working with me on some Antari stuff, he's here in the same hotel, actually. We're all staying here building this cool stuff. We were walking back yesterday, and it was really, really funny. So we were talking about the different levels of SSM members. Like if you came through, there's level 1 people, okay? And if you're at level 1 and you don't have much money to invest, and it is an investment, right? Like, you could be spending your money on like stupid shit. It's so funny because when I talk to people about buying paid traffic or like, building their business, they're so happy to go and spend like $1,000 or like $5,000 or whatever on just some like crap, like, or go buy a new car, but they don't want to spend like $400 on like paid ads. It just like blows my mind, okay? But anyway, so like if you're at level 1 and you don't have that much money to invest in your business, then this area is the area that you should focus on the most. What skills can you quickly acquire, okay? Quickly acquire to get your first ring, okay? Or what skills can you quickly outsource, okay, at a low cost to get your first ring. Especially if you're on level 1, it's quite important that the skills area is thought about. One of our guys, Ben, actually, I mentioned him maybe on call 1. Ben actually took the market of videos, okay, and he created videos for a skill that he had in his like college and working career. So what I suggest to most people is like make a list of the assets and attributes that you have personally, okay? So maybe you like, because we all have certain skills and experiences in the world already. So like Ben, for example, he worked in like biotechnology, okay? So Ben has all these like crazy skills and crazy knowledge in that area. Another SSM member, Luke, he actually has skills in sports science. And what's really funny is he went through like school, he went through like college. He's like, I'm really excited. I love sport. I want to work in sport. So of course, if you're in the system, they're like, yes, well, you should do exercise science and then you will get the degree and you will get the job. So he went through, he got the degree, but guess what? Didn't get the job. He had no like way to make money off his degree. So, but he had all these skills in sports science. So he joined SSM and he built the skills in marketing and selling and building products and launching new things. And so he launched his new product, okay, in that sports science arena. Now he has like this crazy business. He had his first like 6-figure month not too long ago. And like, so what I suggest to anyone that's just starting out, especially if you're on level 1, use the skills that you already have. And to acquire skills in the fastest way, by the way, like there's tons of YouTube videos out there on like how to like do pretty much anything. You can go to YouTube and you can learn like skills in any area. Like I showed you this, right? You could go to YouTube and learn how to animate videos over the next week, okay? And then you could build the business around it and launch the business. Remember what I said, there's never been a better time like this in history, okay? So like a lot of my employees, they're from the Philippines and they are like, I don't know whether it's a cultural thing or something like that, but they are like some of the most hardworking, most like curious and like the most like well-learned people that I'm finding right now. And they're over there and they're like, okay, look at this. There's never been a better time in history. There's all these people in the Western world that needs skill sets that I can go to YouTube and learn for free on how to build. And so they go and learn things like video editing. They go and learn things like, virtual assistant tasks. They go and learn things like accounting so they can do like remote accounting work for like Western corporations. And it's just like, it's growing the world as a whole because these skills and these like valuable techniques are more accessible than ever, okay? So it's quite crazy, the possibility that you have, all right? And again, I just want to keep reinforcing it. So the skills are there and they're ready to go. Now, how do you fast track your skills? And how do you fast track your skills in a way that, makes money? Well, first of all, you should like that you can go and learn stuff for free, but if you really want something like that fast tracks you, then like there's some great obviously paid training out there, okay, that takes you through and teaches you the skills. Like for example, SSM. So if you start off at ground zero inside the SSM program, like nothing, and just like a lot of guys have. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen like the documentary series on guys like Matt Skelcher. Well, he went through the SSM program. He actually was working as a bartender. He had no idea about the internet, no idea how to build a website or do any of this crap. And now the guy's like, I don't even want to say how large this guy's living. He's just doing crazy things. But anyway, the skills are there and they're ready to learn. So if you come through something like SSM, and you're a blank slate, you could say, Tim, I've got no skills. I suck, nothing. You came through SSM, you would at least learn skills like creating like profitable website campaigns, how to manage ad accounts. There's like a whole subset of skills you learn through that sort of training, and then you can just apply that to almost any business. So that skill acquisition, if you're on that ground zero level 1, is the most important thing. Now, if you're on level 2 or level 3, this is where things get really fun because you can actually just start outsourcing and building teams around the stuff that you don't know. That's when you start hiring people that are better than you. We should do that from the start, even if you're on level 1. Like, of course, you hire a video person that's better than you at doing videos. However, level 2 and level 3, you get more of a luxury with those hiring and acquisition of skill sets, all right? So golden circle number 1, heart. Golden circle number 2, skills. And that's really, really important. So the third circle that Green River Views feels like it's coming on is, of course, market, okay? Will someone and is someone currently pulling out their wallet to buy whatever it is that you're trying to sell? So this is like one of the biggest errors that I see that most people make when they go to launch a new business, start a new product campaign or whatever it is they're like, I've got this great idea for a business. And like I saw someone the other day that posted up, I forget what group it was in, but it was like, I want to create an app, and this app is going to and this lady, like, God love her, She seems just like an older, middle-aged lady that like had an idea for an app over a glass of wine one night. And so she's like, I have an idea for an app, guys, and it's going to do this, 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 and this. And like, to be fair, there was probably hundreds of other apps that did this, but she felt inspired, so she was just ready to like pay someone to make her this app. And of course, like these older people, they've got the money to be able to do this. And I saw this in my iPhone app business days as well. I liked to be quite honest and say like, hey, look, this is not going to work. Have you considered that like this app does the same thing? Or have you considered this? Have you considered how hard it's going to be to acquire a customer for an app? Okay. Do you have an audience that you can say, hey, buy my app? Or are you just hoping to put it on the Apple Store and have people buy it at $1 a click? At $1 a purchase? Like, how is this a business? So one of the biggest things that you need to decide right now, I guess I'm asking you to make multiple decisions across this. You need to decide if you are running or doing a business, or if you are running or doing a hobby. All right. Now, this is very important because they're two very different things. Okay. A business's main goal is to generate profit for its shareholders. That is its main and only goal. That is a business. Okay. A hobby's main goal is to keep whoever's doing the hobby happy. All right. That's these two things can't be blurred. All right. Now, go back to the heart circle. You still need to have like some form of passion for the thing, and that certainly helps. But like, if you've just got skills and heart, but no market for it, then you've got a hobby. If you've got like skills and heart and like, and there's a market for that, then what have you got? A business. So it's really, really important that you decide, and you decide right here and right now, like what it is that you're going to go into, and be very wary of this. Okay. So for an exercise, if you wanted to go through this, you should go through and you should list all the things in these categories. You can put them in something like an Airtable and list out all the things that, like, you know, the products or the one key fans or the people that you'd like to work with that really excite you. Then list out all the skills and the things that you could do for that person or those people. And then you need to find out whether there's an actual market for it. And I'm going to go through this stuff and I'm going to show you how to do all this as well. All right. Sound good? All right. You enjoying this stuff? And is there some little brain clicks happening? Is there some little like fire going off in your brain right now? Make sure you like put it in the chat there, because that's how I know that you're like, this stuff's clicking and this stuff is resonating with you. So okay. Yeah, let's continue and keep going forward here. So that's law number one. Now, law number two, let's go through that. Law number two is the law of no invention. So what I don't want you to do is go and invent anything like yourself. Okay, I don't want you to go out there and I don't want you to go and invent like some crazy new idea for an app or product or anything like that. There's just going to be no invention. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and find the green river and where it's flowing already. All right. So you should be putting these like laws somewhere. Like you should screenshot this, or you should write it down, and you should like post it up like as a sticky note on your computer to keep you aligned and keep you focused. Okay. No invention. Okay. No invention is really, really, really important. Now the next law, okay, no inventing of the wheel. The next law is the law of irrational passion. The more passionate someone is about a certain topic or a certain product, and the more irrationally passionate, then the better you're going to find that your business idea is. So let me just show you an example here. I'm going to cut across to the screen, and like for example, there's groups out there. Like since we've been going down the kind of the travel and the flight kind of the flight sort of idea gen that we've been talking about, or the flight examples, like there's these forums out there just on accruing like frequent flyer points. So there's like this forum here, frequent flyer forum. Okay, so to find irrationally passionate people, there's generally like forums about this stuff. Like, so there's like these flyer talk forums. So let's go in here and have a look actually. So a genuine question, like what's the least expensive package? Okay, so there's all these like questions and things that pop up. So like, let's have a look at some of the, I don't know whether we can sort by views here or anything like that, but they sometimes get a little bit confusing, these things. But let's have a look at something that's got like the most replies or like something interesting. So like SAS Plus, intra-Europe, what happened? Traveling this, blah, 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 blah. But what happened to all the other niceties? Gone? Anyone know? And like people discuss all the little bits and pieces of like all these little offers and things like that. And so this can lead to business ideas. So let's look at this. Like, let's look at a business idea based around this stuff. So one thing I did think of actually, as I was like thinking of this as maybe an example or something, is there's these like ways that like, let's just look at business class flights. All right, so this is a problem people have. They go to Google, how do I get business class flights? But how do I get business class flights on the cheap? All right, so let's have a look here. There's like this thing here, like business class for all, save 30-40% on luxury travel. All right, so this is an ad here, business class for all. Let's have a look at it. So these guys, what they do, okay, is your dream, we deliver, is you put in a quote, okay, for your business class flight, all right, where you're flying to, when you want to fly, all those things. And then this company, they have a team that goes ahead and like researches and finds like the best fares for that flight. And what they also do is they have like a lot of like points. They have points that they've either like bought off other people, but they've also got points from probably starting this business. So I don't know whether you're aware of how like flyer points work, but basically you can get these credit cards that every time you spend $1 on a credit card, you get 1 frequent flyer point. Okay, that's just simply how it works. Some are better than others, right? So what this company probably does, and I'm just speculating here, but what they probably do, and I'm almost 90% sure that they do this, is they buy that person's business class ticket on their credit card, they keep the points, and they also give them a little bit of a discount as well for doing that. So let's just say like they buy this flight and they give them a discount and it's cheaper than the guy could find the business class flight. Well, then this business actually ends up with a new customer. That's a big thing. So they've just acquired a customer. And another thing is they've just acquired all the points. And because they've acquired all those points, guess what? They can use those points to book the next guy that's buying the business class flight for free. Okay, so you can imagine this cycle running like 100, 200, 300 times, this cycle running 200, 300 times a month, right? They can start providing 30 to 80% off business class flights because they're paying for these flights on points. It's not costing the business anything, and then they're just collecting the money, and away they go. So pretty damn crazy, all right? So this is an example of like an arbitrage business. Now, for example, like I probably wouldn't enter something like this. I'm not sure because it probably violates. I don't know, but it probably violates a lot of terms and conditions of the airline. I'm just using it as an example of irrational passion. So people are irrationally passionate about something like that. And there we go. There's businesses created. You could see the ad. You click through. There's a landing page. There's iflyflat.com. He charges you $3K. And there you go. And then the other thing, if you're really thinking about this on a deeper level and a better level, and this is the level that you should be thinking at, like, it's whatever. The flight business is great, probably makes money, but they're acquiring an email list of business customers, people that spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a flight. So they then have an email list of these people. Think about all the other stuff that they could sell business type people. Okay, amazing. All right, and they've got this like group of business class people on their email list that they can like sell expensive products to. So they're acquiring customers, that's getting all paid for, and now they can like sell other stuff to them, sell them other offers. They might be able to like do affiliate deals on things that are like related to travel or related to businessmen. It's just like, this is how the game is played. This is how the online game works, all right? And that's just a quick little irrational passion market that I just found right there, okay? So that's law number 3. How important do you think that one is, all right? And again, forums, Facebook groups, any of these places you can find one key fans, you can find markets with irrational passion. Again, there's never been a better time. When I first started, there was no Facebook groups. There was none of this type of stuff. You've got this at your fingertips right now, okay? But guess what? Don't become Gary. Don't become research man of doom. Gary goes broke. Remember that. You've got to choose one and go, all right? Again, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but let's keep continuing, all right? So law number 4, over 50% of your traffic from pay-per-click, okay? If you're just starting out or you're just launching a new product, this is like one of my laws that I have in the Antares process. So over 50% of the traffic must be coming from pay-per-click. And why would I say that? I think I alluded to this in another call where I said that if the majority of traffic and sales are coming from organic means like YouTube views or like SEO or any of those things that take a long time to build, I'm not interested in that. I want to find the people that have been going for over 3 months and that they're driving over 50% of their traffic from pay-per-click advertising. So can you see how that would be really useful to me? Again, I hope we're all writing these lessons down. Hope we can write all this stuff down so we can go ahead and like build some cool stuff. So let me show you. I'm going to show you a sneak peek inside. Or let me ask you, would you like to see a sneak peek inside the like Antares process, or like just a tiny little fraction of what we do over at Antares? Let me know if you'd like to see that. So I'm just waiting for some replies to come through here. Obviously, there's like a little tiny touch of a delay, maybe like 10-15 seconds. Get a chance to have another sip. Miguel's writing. Yep, taking notes. Beautiful. So this is one of the tables. So there's a total of 8 systems inside Antares. And again, the Antares system is designed to do all this stuff automatically. Find the business ideas, get all the data on the business ideas, and then show me the business ideas that are going to be the most successful, and then run down the process of, okay, cool, copywriting, landing page, ads, drive the traffic, okay? So this is one of the markets that showed up on our radar, basically inside Antares. It's a virtual system. Basically, we've got a team that runs the system, and yeah, it's like this semi-automated thing. It's pretty cool. So up the top here, we've got a few things. A few criteria. This isn't all our criteria. This is just some of the criteria. I can't show you all of this, obviously. But what we've got here is we've got like things like button text, because we want to know like what sort of call to action is happening on the pages. Okay, we've got like price of the product. We've got similar web traffic. I'll go into that in a second. We've got percentage of social. We've got social ads. We've got countries that we're targeting. And we've got links to the landing page and links to the Facebook page. All right. So again, this is just some of our criteria. I can't go through all of it here. This is just like a free thing. So we landed on something like this, for example. Okay, ketoweightloss.com. And we saw the landing page. Again, order now, straight to sale. And like you look through here, it's a good landing page. Pretty damn rad. All right. But so how do you like get on a landing page like this? So say you click on an ad. How do you like know what traffic they're getting? How do you know that they're just running ads and things like that? Well, one of the things that we do is we take this thing here, the actual URL, and we go to this thing called SimilarWeb. There's other things that we do too, but again, I'm just keeping it simple for you here because this is all you need, all right? Like, I'm not hiding anything or like holding anything back. Like, don't think that like, oh, this isn't the real process. This is like the real process. It's a lot. It's kind of a lot more manual, but like it's enough to get you going. All right, it's enough to get you going. So you copy this over to SimilarWeb, and SimilarWeb will tell you the traffic. Okay. Now, what's interesting is this business has been going for 2 months, and they've been running for a little while. Actually, not long at all. But they're getting like 789 visits, okay, which is pretty damn good per month, that is. And now we can see also where they're targeting their traffic. So they're targeting Mexico and they're targeting these countries, which is a little weird. It doesn't look like they're targeting the United States. And that's some clues as well right there. Now, if we have a look here at this graph, we can see some's coming from direct, which means like maybe affiliates. So like affiliates are sending traffic to there, or their own email list is sending traffic there. Then we've got like some search traffic. Okay, so people are like coming from like search ads as well. And then we've got social. All right. So what's interesting with social is that we can see if they're getting like if they're really high on social, that means they're running ads on like social networks. So they might be running Facebook ads, Instagram, any of that stuff. They're doing social ads. So we can clearly see here, and we can clearly make the decision that these guys are spending money on PPC, and they're spending a lot of money on PPC, okay, to get their traffic, all right? And so now we're starting to build the anatomy, all right? We're building the anatomy of, right, these websites and what's working, where the green river is flowing. So we can clearly see a green river here, all right? So how do we find the ads? Well, obviously you type them in Google, but then there's this little thing over here as well. Again, never been a better time in history. There's this little thing over here called Google Ads Library. Facebook Ads Library. You go to facebook.com/ads/library, and you basically type in anything here and find any people that are running Facebook ads, and you can just swipe them. It's incredible. Okay, again, like, it's never been easier to see where the green river is flowing, all right? So if we go here and we go to like keto weight loss, and I like to search, like, I guess what we'll do here is, because we saw that they were running in Mexico, we need to like put Mexico there. So we go keto weight loss and we do a little search. Nothing's happening there. All right, interesting. So if we go back, keto, see, this is where it gets interesting, is like what a lot of these companies do is they try and mask this by creating a page that's like a totally different name. So it might be like Keto Daily or Keto Recipes. You'll have to go through and look at some of these things here and like see where the landing pages lead. So like, let's just have a look at this one, Keto, okay? And let's look at their ads running to Mexico right now. So isn't this crazy? We can actually see the real ads running to people. Like, has it ever been easier to swagger jack or what? Like, you tell me. So this one goes to yourketo.diet. And if we click on that, we now get another landing page on where the green river is running, okay? So this here is it's a common one, and it's actually a method that's working really well right now if you want to take notes. This quiz style method is running great on Facebook right now. Facebook, from compliance wise, is actually like liking quizzes. So yeah, if you've got a business that could lend itself to a quiz, then I highly recommend you test a quiz based opt-in model. So look, if we have a look here, there's like man, and then like, you know, I do this, and basically what this whole quiz is all about is capturing their email address. And then once they've captured their email address, then they can go a little more aggressive on selling their products. Okay. So this is Antares, or this is like a tiny little part of Antares. You've seen like a little fraction of the world there that we've got running right now. But that's what we've got in terms of law number 4, all right? So making sure that 50% of the traffic is coming from pay-per-click, all right? So as you can see, that's a pretty cool process. But as you can also see, that's a process that you would probably spend days, weeks, months, like being Gary and like worrying about the ads and worrying about this and worrying about that, instead of just making the decision and going for it. So then, all right, then what we've got here is law number 5, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Yeah, because it's, again, this is like straight from like the hidden door. These are the hidden door things. All right, so law 5 is one gun, okay? I call this the one gun method, and I taught this one gun method actually in Bali. Now, I have to go and say that there is only one Gun in my eyes, and that's Gun Hudson, who's a member of our community. Gun is like, Gun's an awesome member of the SSM community, actually. He's got this thing called Global Tax Freedom. If you ever wanted to know how to minimize or get your tax bill down, and you're kind of like free to live in other places and other countries, and you really want to explore the whole tax side of things, check out Global Tax Freedom. It's really, really good. So let's go with one gun, all right? So that's the gun in my eyes, but let's go with the one gun method, all right? So there's three things to this one gun method. And again, as I said, I wanted to do a bit of a workshop with you here today. So the first one is choose one person, okay? Whatever the campaign it is you're doing, choose one damn person. Now, in yesterday's video, I think it was yesterday's, I talked about Josh, all right? I talked about creating my first idea. I thought of that one person, Josh. I was writing my ads to Josh. I was building my business to Josh. All of that happened to Josh. Did I end up selling it to Josh? No, I didn't. But I needed that one person because it's all about one conversation. It's all about sitting down and having that chat and working out their pain, their problems, and delivering that thing that solves those pain and problems. This is what it all comes down to. One key fan, that whole, it's all about that one person, all right? I cannot stress this enough. When I was in Bali and I actually asked this question to, and these are SSM dudes. These are dudes doing really, really well in business. So I asked everyone to put their hands up. I said, okay, guys, tell me a little bit about your business and who you sell to. And they put their hands up, and I asked three random people, and they're like, so we sell this product to companies that are looking to do blah 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 blah. I was like, wait, right there, companies. So you sell to companies. So a company reaches into their wallet and pulls out the credit card and buys with you, and he's like, sorry, I sell to marketing directors. And then that's where I got it, okay? That's where I was like, okay, yeah, now you're getting it. So it's one person. It's always one person. So whether you're selling a low cost item or right up until the high ticket items. We've got an SSM member, Seth, actually, who's a doctor, and he's just finished selling his own info product. But the way he sells his info product is he books a strategy session with them and he sells them over the phone. So it's like a one-to-one sale, but he ends up with a multiple $1,000 product sale just with one phone call. All right. But it starts with that. It almost starts backwards. It starts with that one person. So if you can't picture yourself sitting across from them or having a chat with them, then that may not be the right product. All right. It may not be the right product for you. So it's all about one person. Okay, that's it's really, 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 really important. John Carlton, who's a really, really great copywriter, he has this exercise before he does any writing, and he says, okay, so imagine this, and we can go through this exercise now because it'll take 1 minute. So imagine this, all right? Imagine you walk into a dusty old bar, okay, down in Texas. All right, you walk into it doesn't have to be Texas. Let's just say New York. Not a dusty old bar. You just walk into a nice bar in New York, and it's not very busy. And you walk up to the bar and you sit down, and there's a guy that's 2 seats away from you, and he's talking to the bartender, and he's saying to the bartender, he's like, I just wish I could do this. All right, everyone goes out it's the classic, you've seen it on movies, people walking in and spilling their problems to the bartender. So he's looking in his whiskey glass, he's kind of sipping the whiskey, and he's like, I just wish that I could do this. And for you need to insert that problem or pain. So he's like, you know what? I wish I could just get more sales on my website, more consistent sales. All right. So you hear this, you overhear this, you're sitting there, and you say, hey man, did you just say that you needed more sales on your website? All right. And the guy goes, yeah, what? And you can tell, right? The guy instantly lights up. You've just repeated his problem back to him, that is on his mind. Okay. And he's like, yeah, how did you know that? What's that? And he's like, and you can say to them then, you're like, well, it's really interesting because, I've got a bit of experience in that. I recently worked with a client and they did this, and this. I'm like, oh shit. So the guy stands up and sits next to you, slides his drink over, and he's ready to go. He's ready for that conversation. And do you notice how I started that conversation? I said, hey man, all right, I called him out. I got his attention. Again, part of the copywriting formula. Hey man, and he's like, are you looking for more leads and sales on your website? Okay. And the guy's like, yeah. And then that's where the conversation starts. So that same conversation is the conversation that you end up having on your website. You end up having on your sales pages. You end up having on all of that stuff. Like an example of an agency that does this really well, I find, is this example here called kingkong.com.au. It's an Australian agency. The guy that runs it seems like he knows his direct mail like copywriting skill, right? So these types of websites, they're built out of conversations with real One Key fans. They're not built out of conversations, like they're not just made up out of thin air, okay? So like this guy, he's made it explode your sales in the next 90 days, blah, 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 blah. And then bam, call to action, send me 5 ways to grow my business. So like these are built out of conversations. And then notice when I was doing the bar conversation, I said, yeah, well, I've had experience doing this, and this. So the conversation opens and then it goes to proof straight away. All right, so here's some proof elements on the landing page because people are going to want, like if you were having a real life conversation with a real life person, they're going to want to know proof. So bam, there's the proof there. And then here's the whole introduction. Here's the story and here's the conversation. Oh, so like if this conversation was happening in real life, he would say all this stuff and then he'd be like, yeah, so this is how my system works. So firstly, we do traffic generation. So you can see that like all this stuff is just born out of the conversation. There's no fancy tactics. There's nothing like that. If you can't sit across from someone, okay, and have that conversation and get them to pull out their wallet, then it's not going to work online. All right. Now the crazy thing that we can do is we can go and we can swagger jack and we can see the conversations. All right, we can see this stuff happening in any market, whether it's physical, online, info, whatever the product is, we can see the conversations, we can see where the green river is flowing. And that gives us clues, but we still need to like really focus in on that one person. And there's exercises out there on building a customer avatar and all that stuff. All that shit is really important because later when you go to build ad campaigns, you need to target certain interests, keywords, all those stuff. So that's built out of one person. Again, there's a whole process around this stuff, but like it's really important that we keep on a straight path, like one gun. So one gun, part one, okay, is one person. All right, got it? Cool. So what you need to know is also one product, okay? One product. What are they currently using to do whatever it is that they want to do to solve their problem? All right. So if you're looking at like keto people, all right, this is a product here that they're using. They're using this product here to solve their problem. Fat burner, fat block and burner, appetite control, metabolism boost, blah, blah, blah. So this maintains ketosis, burns fat and increases energy. So this is probably the 3 most important things to someone on a keto diet, right? That's probably the 3 most important things. So they're currently using this, okay? They're currently using this product, all right? Keto weight loss supplement. They're using some form of supplement. So for you, when you're thinking of your product and developing your product, you need to be thinking of like, what can you do that solves the same thing? Okay, if we had a look at those problems again, the top 3 problems. So maintain ketosis. Okay, I don't know whether any of you are on the like keto program or whatever. I've never done it. I have no interest in doing anything like that. But if you wanted to maintain ketosis, how do you do that? All right, look at all the ways that people do, like all the things people do to maintain ketosis. And what are all the ways people burn fat fast? And what are all the ways people increase energy? So what you do is you take those things, you literally list them. You say, okay, how can people maintain ketosis? List all those things down. Let's just say it was eating a magical grape. All right, this magical grape maintained ketosis. All right, burn fat fast. Imagine if there was like a special device called or imagine if there was a special stone, and if you stood on this stone, you would burn fat. All right, so we've got our magical grape and we've got our burn fat fast stone. And then there was increase energy. Okay, so what are all the ways people use to increase energy? Let's say there was like a 5-step like squat formula that if you did this particular squat in this particular way, that it would increase your energy. Okay, so we've got magical grape, we've got magical rock, and we've got the 5 squat formula. All right, so what we're doing here when we're listing these things out is we're going ahead and we're starting to create something that we can put together or we can mold together to solve the same problem. All right, so that you can get someone to switch from using keto weight loss as dietary supplement and switch over to the magical grape, the magical rock, or the magical 5 squat formula, or a combination of all three, because you can combine those things. So the ultimate keto package includes, number 1, the magical grape. And this magical grape was found deep in the Amazon rainforest. This tribesman named whatever, named Gary. This tribesman named Gary discovered this grape and showed it to one person in the world. And this one person ate this grape and discovered that he was maintaining ketosis. And now he's brought back the magical grape for you. And then he discovered this this magical stone. If you stood on this stone for 4.7 minutes, then you would burn more fat than if you ran for an hour on a treadmill. And then, aside from that, if you want to increase energy, when you step off the stone, you can do this 5-step squat technique, and all of a sudden you'll be ripped like a Greek god and have like the amazing, and you'll live longer and anti-aging, all those things. So now that's how we start to build, okay, and again, I'm taking things to like a crazy level, but that's how we start to build irresistible offers as we're doing this sort of research, okay? So like that's what we're doing. And I'm going to go into that process a little bit more with you, but you need to know what they're currently using. So look at the Green River and look at what people are currently buying, because your whole goal for that one person, okay, is to get that person to not buy that other thing that everyone's buying and to move over and buy your thing. You need to get them to make the jump, make the leap over to you, okay? And the way to do that is, like switching or like making whatever you have seem like the new crazy thing. And I'll show you exactly, what I mean by that in a second. So again, there's 3 processes to the one gun. The first thing is have your person defined, have your product defined. What are they currently buying? You need to know what people are currently buying. Again, follow the Green River. And then we need one gun, all right? One sales modality, one way that you make people buy. Now, this is where people mess up. This is where you mess up, because you're scrolling through Facebook and then you're like, holy shit, people are selling these things on webinars. Webinars must be the best way to sell things. I'm going to go use a webinar. And like all these, like obviously these companies, they'll market all these different ways to you. Now, if it's not webinars, it's going to be like sales calls. Sales calls are the best way to sell anyone. And then you're like, oh shit, I better learn how to do sales calls. And they're like, no, forget that. The best way is with email autoresponders. So if you've got the best email autoresponder, you'll sell more shit. Email is the way to go. And so all of a sudden you go, oh shit, email is the way to go. Off you go. So I've been around for a long time now, okay, in this game. Not as long as some people, not as long as like some of my mentors, but been around for a long time. So I've seen these things move around a lot, okay? All of a sudden, Facebook ads is like the best way to attract customers. And then Facebook starts going down, which funnily enough, Facebook, we're starting to see some glitches in the Facebook matrix as of today, where Facebook is moving some things around and becoming more expensive. I don't know whether you've noticed, but most people, what you're going to see this like little apocalypse, and people are like, oh my God, my Facebook ads are down, rah, rah, rah. But if you actually know what's going on, it's just one sales modality that's not working right now, or it's going on a downward trend. And if you're a master at this stuff, you're like, oh shit, okay, I can see that this sales modality is going down, so I need to switch to another sales modality. Maybe the modality becomes Google ads, all right? Now, what you haven't noticed, because you've been so focused on Facebook ads, is that Google ads has actually become quite a bit cheaper and quite a bit easier to target your customers or your one key fan. All right. So the sales modalities move around all the time. And if you're just starting in this game, you can be rest assured that you don't have to freak out. It just moves around. All right. Because there's still, the fact remains, okay? The fact remains that there's still a market of people out there going to bars, drinking in their whiskey and saying, oh, you know, I really wish someone could help me with this. All right. There's always going to be pain, problems, frustrations, or like entertainment issues to solve in the world with products and services. So yeah, like this is where, you know, knowing marketing and being really like keyed in on marketing, but also having like, again, mentors that can show you these types of things, that have been through all these like things, like they've been through ad apocalypses and all that stuff. It's about having those right people on your team, or to be able to access those people to like, to show you, or like to be like, oh yeah, we noticed our data is doing this, so you should probably move into this direction. All right, that's so crucial. But anyway, for you, what you need to do now is just choose one sales modality. I don't care what it is. Don't ask me either. Don't be like, hey, should I do Facebook ads? Should I do this? Should I do that? You should just do one and choose that one. And if you can't make that sales modality work, then chances are you probably can't make the other ones work. All right. My favorite is always the phone. My favorite is like, once you have your business idea, you need to think of like that one person you can call and try and sell them. And that's like the easiest way to figure out what's going on, or if your product's any good. But just choose one sales modality. Like, I don't know if there's any SSM members in here at the moment, but like you've seen the reports of people making sales without even a website. They go, oh shit. Like they go through my process, they learn to get the idea, and then they call up that person on their mind, or they get access to that person on their mind. They go, hey, so we're doing this product, and yeah, like, you know, can we do it? So it was really, really interesting. I actually built, one of my ideas that I had was an engine that allowed you to buy things directly inside Facebook pages. So I actually built a sales video around this thing. And this was back in the days when I was like running, you know, multiple freedom businesses before SSM and any of that. And I had this idea where, like, how cool would it be if like businesses could just sell things in one click from inside their Facebook page? So I actually had this animated up. I had it animated up so that like, you know, it looked like people were going and buying things inside Facebook in one click. All right. And it was so funny. So I actually went to my accountant at the time and I showed him the video and he's like, holy shit, you know, you should really talk to this guy. He would buy that in an instant. So I went and met with this guy who had a big company and I showed him the video and like, again, I was just sitting across from him like, hey, check this out. And he's like, so like, he's like, oh, wow, you can do this? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, we're in, we'll buy it. Whatever you need, go ahead. So then I went back, I was like, yes. And I went back and I realized, I talked to a programmer on like Upwork and I realized that cannot be done. I'm like, oh shit. But like, I had it sold, I had it ready to go. Again, another one of those things, one gun, all right? It's quite crazy, but that also goes back to my first law, right? That's how I learned these laws, is that idea was never going to work. I was inventing new things. I wasn't looking where the Green River was flowing. And although I sold that thing, I was inventing new stuff. So it's much easier for you to do this. And by the way, like on this, like no invention, like, you know, we all have dreams to become Elon Musk or Richard Branson or any of these cats, and that's totally fine. But if you're looking at like 50K a month, 100K a month, freedom business income, then you don't need to become Richard Branson. You just need to sell some cool shit online. That's it. All right. So if your goal is freedom, your goal is to travel the world, your goal is to get access to like really cool people and really cool experiences and really cool adventures, or if your goal is financial security for your family so that like you never have to have a job again, you never have to worry about your kids and you never have to worry about any of that shit, then like just finding a product selling online where the Green River is flowing and launching that and just running your little ad campaigns day in and day out and making sure the product's delivered and your customers are happy, and you will be set. Okay, you will be absolutely set. So yeah, you don't need to become Elon Musk or any of these guys. There's no invention necessary. Very, 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 very important to remember. All right, so keep going forward here. Like a lot of the guys I know, they're just not vocal about their stuff. Even in SSM, there's these guys we call shadow lurkers. They've been through the program and they've like built these rad businesses, but like you'll never ever see them. Like a couple of them showed up in Bali actually, and people are like, who's this guy? And then you'll never see them in the community. You'll never hear from them. Like I'll get an email from them occasionally, or they'll like pop up at an event, and they're just quietly going away, making that money for their family and just doing their business, and away they go. All right. So one sales modality, really, really important. So how do we do this? We need to write down this one question. Okay, this one question. If I can get person to switch from product and buy your new offer, then I have a business that will be ready to scale. All right, one person. So this should be a question. Remember when I sat down, I built Samurai, I was like, hey, if I can get Josh to switch from his plain old website, buy an amazing sales video, then I'll have a business and be ready to scale. All right, you got that? Are you writing this stuff down? I sincerely hope so. So if you can get someone, all right, if you can get person to switch from whatever product and buy your new offer, then you have a business and you'll be ready to scale. Okay, remember one gun, one person, one product, one gun. Okay, one sales modality. One person, one product, one gun. One person, one product, one gun. One thing that you fire. Like picture it like a gun. Okay, only one gun. Because like there's the gun that is Facebook. There's a gun that is AdWords. There's the gun that is this, the other thing. All right, one person, one product, one gun. Keep going. Keep moving forward. Keep like walking through that dark, dark tunnel. Okay. So if I can get person to switch from working, hey Miguel, if I can get person to switch from product and buy a new offer, then I have a business and we'll be ready to scale. All right, I'll give you guys 1 minute to write this down and to absorb it, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. All right. How we going? One person, one product, one gun. Okay, cool. So what is the thing that's going to help you do this? What is the one thing that's going to help you to switch that person? Okay, to make that person jump from whatever it is that they're doing now into your new offer or product. Okay, what is that thing? Okay, well, there's a little psychological thing that we all have. You and I have this. You and I are born with this. This is the beauty of advertising and marketing, and why I love it so dearly is that it is predictable. Psychology is predictable, and the way it's predictable is that we're made out of the same stuff. So the same stuff, like there's little mental triggers, and this is some deep stuff. And again, I go a lot deeper into this stuff when we come to writing offers and doing crazy stuff. But there's like these little triggers in the mind. And if you kind of like switch these triggers or switches, these mental switches in the right combination, you can almost get anyone to do anything. And again, this is like Dark Lord stuff that could be used for the dark side of the force. I'm just going to share with you one trigger here today. And this trigger is really, really crucial for marketing campaigns and launching new things. And we all have this trigger. We all have this thing inside of us. Even if we're aware of it, we're still going to get sold on it. All right. So this trigger is actually brand new. Okay. Brand new. We all have this thing where we feel like there's always something better out there. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. You have this. I have this. Everyone has this. From top ranking CEOs to multi-billionaires to the guys down here that are just like cleaning the pool. We all and you know and much respect to the pool cleaner. We all have this thing in our mind as a human that we're always seeking greener pastures. We always think that there's something new out there, something better, some better house, some better car, some better like training program, some better book that's going to solve the problem. Better, better, better. Now, why this is great, okay? It sounds like it sucks, but why this is good is that this is your golden opportunity. Is because whatever's working out there for anyone, you can actually trigger this brand new switch in their mind, okay? And if you trigger it the right way, you can have them jump or leap from whatever it is they're doing now into your new product, okay? That's how exciting this stuff is. So, like, if you look at this, for example, okay, this is just to prove a point. So this is the 2018 C63 AMG, and I actually had one of these cars. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. Really, really good. So this is the 2018 C63 AMG, all right, by Mercedes. And is anyone watching the Grand Prix tomorrow? By the way, Mercedes will take it out, as we know. Philip's a Ferrari man. I'm a more Mercedes man myself, but this is the car. It's fucking awesome, right? It's great. It looks cool. It's rad and everything. So that's the 2018. Now let's look at this. This is the 2017 model, all right? 2017 model C63, 2018 model C63. Like, how much difference is there, okay, between these two cars? Like, for real, like, how much difference is there? All right, the grille, they've changed the design of the grille. There's probably like some performance little tweak things inside. I've been in both cars and like the interior hasn't really changed that much. If you get in any of these brand new cars from like the last 3 years or so, you'll notice that like it really hasn't changed that much. But like, guess what? Year upon year upon year, everyone gets the upgrade. All right, from 2017, 2018, and then they'll get the 2019. All right, because brand new, they don't want to miss out on brand new. This is like it's pure insanity, right? Like, there's no need to like keep upgrading year on year on year. It's that fear of missing out. It's that like there's something brand new and I need to have it. Okay, so you can like trigger this same psychology in whatever it is that you're selling. Okay. So when you're writing your offer, okay, this is one of the, you know, like, yeah, it's funny. Hey, like you could have said the left one is 2017 and the right one is 2018, you know, like you could have just switched them around. Okay. So funny. But anyway, like when you're going to write your offer or you're building a new product or you're doing anything in your business, do not make the mistake of trying to sell something that improves something already there. Okay, do not sell like you'll never see Mercedes say like, here is the car that's just that goes just that little bit faster than last year's car. They don't say that. They say the brand new Mercedes, blah 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 blah, and like it's this brand new thing. Trump actually uses this psychology really well. He everything's always like the biggest, the greatest, the most amazing. Like he's always picturing things as that. And as humans, we're like attracted to that. We're attracted to biggest, newest, most amazing, most awesome. All right. So when you're like positioning your offers, this is how it has to be. It can't be like, you know, oh, so you're running a website right now. Oh, like, so if I went back to Josh, the Josh example, I say to Josh, oh, okay, so Josh, you've got your website right now. That's great. Like, I really know how I can improve your website like by changing a couple of things around, just so like, you know, it can get some more customers. Like an improvement is not like, you can always like, any sort of offer that offers improvement is just like, it's easy to say, nah, like whatever, I can do that later. But something that's brand new and limited is like crazy. So if I was to come to Josh with like a sales video, I'd be like, hey man, so your website, like it's looking a bit dated. I'm not sure about that. Hey, check this out. People now are selling these new things called sales videos. And like, check it out. Like they contain everything relating to sales in this one crazy video. So when someone lands on your page, they don't have to read anything. They don't have to do any of this crap with reading your page. They can just click play and they'll be sold. Like, how much cooler is this than like the old web page? And notice the language that I'm using there, right? I'm anchoring that feeling of old and sucky to like something that may even be new, right? Amazing. Okay. So like brand new is the psychology that you'll be using. All right. Brand new is the psychology that you'll be using. So how do we do this? Now, remember right back at the start, I said, picture this line, okay? Because you'll need this line later on, okay? The line. Now, notice this line doesn't like squiggle around everywhere. It doesn't like, you know, go in all different directions, okay? It's just a fucking straight line. It's a direct line. And this is the line that we need you to walk. We need you to walk a direct line right to the bank. We need you to walk a direct line where someone is pulling out their wallet and buying whatever it is that you're selling, okay? And how do we do that? We do this with the one gun method, okay? One person, one product, one gun, one sales modality, okay? And we do it by like leveraging this brand new psychology, okay? This brand new trigger that everyone has, okay? And what you need to do is you need to build, okay, an ad. Like you take whatever it is that's selling out there and you build a new ad showing your brand new thing, a new landing page showing your brand new thing, and you get them to take an action on that page selling your brand new thing, okay? One gun method, direct line. So the steps to do it is you go out there and you find the green river. You go out, you use those tools that I showed you to find where it's flowing. Then you go ahead and you build your own ad. You don't like be like crazy swagger jack person who just like copies everyone because he gets nowhere and probably walks around like carrying that guilt and that shame around you. Like you can imagine like probably the disaster in a person's life when they're that sort of person that just copies everyone's stuff and refunds and things like that. You can imagine. So you're not that person. SSM is not that person. You're like, yeah, you're very different to that. So it's an ad, it's a landing page, and it's an action, and it's a brand new offer. Swaggerjack, mold, create something brand new, and get them to take an action. All right, super, super amazing. All right, so I have a decision for you to make. Remember, I said that at the end of this thing, I have a decision for you to make, and it can be a yes, it can be a no, but there's no maybes in this decision. Well, here's the thing. So, are you going to decide on one person? Are you going to decide on one product? And are you going to decide on one gun or one sales modality to sell them? All right. Or are you going to be like Gary, okay, and sit in maybe land and sit in like the land of like, oh, maybe I can add this, maybe I can add that, maybe I can do webinars and I can do like this other thing and I can do sales calls and I can do like Google AdWords and all this stuff. Maybe, okay, Gary sits in the land of maybe. Or are you just going to go yes? Because the most successful people I've seen in SSM, they've chosen one person. They've built one really great product, okay, one really, really great product. And they use one sales modality to sell that person, okay? So a decision, all right? Or you can you can move to the yes and just go for it, the direct line approach. Or you can say no and just like continue to do what you've been doing, and that's totally fine too. Like, you know, maybe to be honest, maybe freedom business isn't for some people because of this, because it's like the dark tunnel of doom, and it's really hard. Like you feel really like too imposter syndrome to put up an ad or to do any of this stuff, and that's like totally fine. But it has to be a no. It can't just be this maybe land and swimming around maybe. That's really, really important. So I need you to make that decision. And I need you to make that decision now, okay? Do we have yeses? Do we have no's? Or do we have maybes to the one gun method? Let's put it in the chat here right now. I just need to see. I'm cool with no. I'm cool with yes. But I'm not cool with maybe. All right? So let's put it in the chat there. Yes, no, maybe. I really want to see it. The one gun method. Are you ready to go? Hell yeah, guys, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the flood of yeses. Tommy, Christian, Miguel, Erwin, Julius, James, Evo. Like, I'm fantastic, guys. Good work. So, some people are hanging back. Some people are in the land of maybe. They're not even typing in here or doing anything with it. That's interesting. So I'm going to keep an eye on your names. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on your names. And I'm so excited to go through this and to do this and one gun it. It's especially you, Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence. It's one gun time, all right? So let's finish off here, okay? Yeah, I gave you a bit of time to answer. And guys, so a couple of questions. I'm sure you have a few questions that you want. And don't forget, like, I'm still keeping an eye out for the chosen one, all right? And you've made it this long, guys. Like, you've made it this long to the end of this session. And it seems like you've been enjoying these things. Like, I have a feeling that you'd like me to continue doing these live little broadcasts as much as I enjoy doing them. All right, it's so much fun, and I love seeing this. And I really want to see you make that decision over the weekend. So yeah, I'm sure you have some questions. So let's go through a couple of questions here, and don't forget, like, if you like don't get your question answered here, like, I use that question for the next material as well. So it's well worth your time coming to the end because of these things. Because again, I'm looking for a chosen one, and yeah, like, make sure you put your questions in. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds here now. I'm going to mute the mic again and give you a couple of seconds to dive in and ask some questions. Looking forward to it, guys. All right. We have some questions here. So Green River Views, what's up, man? So did Patrick invent a new product, or did he just reposition an existing one? It feels like he actually invented it. Yeah. So Patrick, he took obviously an existing product like hair supplements, right? Green River was flowing for hair care supplements, and he invented his whole new like premium hair product for men. So he just, like, to do that brand new thing, he like created like this new little box that houses the product, and like he spent like a lot of money on just the actual design of the product box. And he actually has like it's so crazy because the angles of the box actually match the angles that are on the Aventador Lamborghini. He had like this custom mold thing done, so he wanted it to like last really well when you when you put it in your bag, it's not going to spill out. It's got this like clip, like this clip on the actual product is amazing. So like he actually had the people that like make the door closing sound. So the engineers at places like Mercedes, they actually engineer the sound that when you close the door, it makes like a really nice sound. Like when you throw the door closed, it goes like, it makes like this pleasing sound to the ear. He had the same engineers engineer the clasp on his hair care products like clasp. So when you clip it and click it, it actually makes like a nicer sound. So he went through like 5 or 6 of these like designs. It's crazy. So he invented it like, and because it was so much crazy and so much investment, and like the people who make the scents, like the smell of the perfumes in like Chanel and places like that, they like formulated the scents for his product. Like it's insane. So he went premium on everything. So he instantly created the brand new men's premium hair product. All right, and I think it's still the most expensive hair product on the market for men, and it's just flooding out the doors. He's done incredible. I buy it all the time, and sure enough, it costs like 4 times more than any other stuff. But I tell you what, it's got like, I love it because, well, I love my man Patrick, but there's also like, you know, there's a story behind it, and there's premium behind it. So when I use these things, I feel premium. I use these things every day, and it's like I feel premium using this thing. Therefore, I go out into the world as a premium person. So it's pretty amazing what he did there. But he used that whole brand new thing. So you might be using hair product, but are you using Patrick's hair product? You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So great question though. All right, cool. So Carlos, Tim, how big should the market be to be profitable? Interesting question, actually. So I'll ask you a question, actually, to begin with. So would you rather have 1% of $1 million market, like say the total market size, people were spending, the green river that was flowing was like $1 million. Would you rather have like 1% of $1 million business, or would you rather have like 1% of the market of like $1 trillion business? Well, it goes without saying, right? So the bigger the market, the better and the easier it is for you. However, the bigger you go, the more competition there is. So, you know, one thing that we really look for as well when we're going into new products and things like Antares is we look at how fast can we hit another trigger called proof. All right. How can we hit another trigger called proof? So when you're building your businesses, like you should be thinking about as well, like how can I demonstrate proof that this product does what it says I'm going to do? Okay. And like, that's really, really crucial. So like, if you're going to go into the big markets, you want to have some pretty cool proof that your work is amazing and can compete. So if you were going to go into a market like building websites, all right, which is like, I don't really recommend that as a whole. Like you can go into websites for a particular market and like go down, like niche down a bit further. But say you're going to go into websites in general and you're going to be a website agency. Well, you want to be pretty damn sure that when someone clicks through from your ad to your landing page, that your landing page has like enough proof on it and enough like excitement and enough like elements on there that show that you are the best in that market, or at least close to the best in that market. So you can capture a certain percentage of that market. So it's about playing with these things. And like, again, there's in Antares, these things are all like data driven, right? Like I don't have to think about them anymore. It's just like our processes and our team goes through this and spits out the right like answers. But okay, for you, like don't spend too much like, is this a big enough market? The way to find out if it's a big enough market is if they're getting like, let's just throw some numbers around. Like a big enough market is anywhere between over like 50,000 searches on SimilarWeb or like 50,000 visits on SimilarWeb, and over 50% of their traffic is coming from paid ads. So there you go. There's a big enough market. That's all you need. Don't like fucking buy tools to try and find market size or any of that crap. Just like one gun it, okay? Does it have over 50,000 visits a month on the page? Cool, it does. Does it have majority of its traffic coming from ads? It does. Can I find those ads? Yes. Go for it, okay? That's the process. All right, perfect. Really, really cool. So action items, fill out the circles, prove that there's a market, and one gun it. That's what we're doing here. All right. Some people are going to have some fun, busy weekends, right? Very, very cool. Okay, Andre, some physical product sites have no similar web traffic and bounce rate stats, I found. Should I ignore those or should use some other metric? Ignore, move on. All right, if you're not finding data on the idea or the site, move on until you do, okay? It's no use playing, like, because what you're doing is like, can I still get into this river even that if I don't know if it's flowing? You still don't know, all right? Don't pull the trigger on the gun unless you know that the Green River is flowing. And I just gave you the metrics there to look for. Move the fuck on. Speed is so important in this game. You have no idea. Like I said in this call, I don't want you to wait another 10 years, okay? And you can sit back and say, oh, damn, well, if I had pulled the trigger 10 years ago, I would be like, you know, freaking freedom business rock star right now. I don't want that, okay? Since SSM is closed after the 2 weeks, can you at least have something like this maybe once a month or two so we can fine tune our businesses? Hey, it's a great question. Let me think about it, to be honest. Yeah, like maybe I can put something together. Yeah, like let me think about it. I think it's great because like, as you know, Zamel, I get so much out of this as well. Like I love it. Like I love seeing this. I love doing this. Like this kicks my day off with so much energy and excitement. And it actually, for my brain as well, like one of the selfish reasons I'm doing this is because I want to dump out my brain. And when I do this, when I'm forced to like build these presentations, it like makes me like clarify my thoughts and put them in like a great order. And then when you ask questions, like that even further clarifies my thoughts. And like, then I can even like, improve my Antari system and things like that. Like it's just, it all fits together really well. So let me think about it. I may be able to do something. Yeah. Actually, let me think over the weekend. I might put something together for you. If anyone's like interested in, you know, doing something a little bit more hands-on, a little bit more mentorship style. Yeah, I'll have to think about it over this weekend. Actually, and if you're interested, if you want to do like some sort of mentorship thing, yeah, like, and you've got some ideas on how, on what would work for you, shoot me an email, tim@timothymark.com. I may do something. Yeah, possibly. We'll see. Or I might not. There's so much going on over here. But I like doing this anyway. This will continue at least for another week. Cool. Alexander, always having trouble finding a good name. Any inspirational advices when choosing a name for a product? Yeah, so it's interesting. This is a thing that I feel like I'm pretty good at, choosing business names. However, there's a couple of tools that can actually help you. One of the tools I'll show you on the screen right now, and our good friend Carl, SSM Carl, who is our Swedish Viking mascot, is showed me this. It's called Namelix, I think it's called. Yeah, Namelix, business name generator. Now, I hate generators for anything. I always think they suck, but they've seemed to have nailed it here. All right, business name generator. So let's say I was naming like a product, like a new watch. So, and the watch was like for pilots. So let's just put like pilot watch. Okay, and we go to generate, and it just comes up with a whole heap of crazy names. So like if we look at the keywords, okay, done. Name length, you can go short, medium, long. We'll go for all of that. Name style, you can choose like different names, multiple words, compound words, real words, misspellings, foreign words. Let's just go for like brandable names, and then you hit generate. And it'll actually generate some pretty cool ideas to start off with, like WatchEck. Okay, that's pretty cool. WatchSect, F-Watch, Flot, okay, FlixRift. Okay, so it comes up with like cool things for you. So if we go browse names here, I'll show you how to refine this a little bit further. Where are we? Browse names. Oh, sorry, create new names. This little tab here, I like to turn this on, only show if the domain name is available. And you choose which domain name you want. A lot of times the .com won't be available, but like try the .com anyway, and you might like find something. It's pretty cool. At least I'll try for this. Okay, like Pilotchen is actually available as a .com. Swatchik is actually available .com. That's actually a pretty cool damn name. Like imagine like a watch business for like chicks, like or chic, Swatchik. Like that's pretty damn cool. So like if you have a look on Namecheap, that'll be available for like $8. So hey, like this is a great place to start, right? Really, really cool. So yeah, other than that, so like what I use the story of the brand, like how the brand, like the brand origin story is something that like I'll naturally be able to pull something from, or and then I'll use like things like that, and I'll just Google around and I'll look at articles relating to those businesses, and I'll look at the type of terminology that the One Key fans use, and like that's how I'll try to like go through and generate the business name. Okay, Miguel, is there a way we can rewatch session 3? I sent out an email today with the link to session 3. I sent that out for you. So yeah, if you check that out, go and have a look. But I'll make sure you get it in this one too. A few people were missing the session 3 link, so I'll make sure you get it here too. So very, very cool. Green River Views, yes. He shelled out 45 quid. It smells nice. It's the best. Like, it's so good. Like, and Patrick's just a legend. He's great. He's a funny character, and he's doing great things in business. And what I like about him, actually, my favorite business people are like start from scratch people. Like, I always resonate better with start from scratch people who literally started with nothing and grew great millions and millions of dollars worth of businesses. Like, that's my type of person. Because like that's where I came from. Like, I had to start from scratch and I had to build businesses and like in order to get what I wanted out of life. And that's the journey that you're on too, which is why you probably resonate with this whole thing as well. So very, very, very cool. All right, so guys, great questions. I really, really, really enjoyed this session. It was good fun to like get our hands dirty and dive in, and to see that you're ready for the one gun method and to go after it. So here's your homework, all right? Go through, one gun it, just like we've talked about, and I will be seeing you on Monday morning yet again for this live call. I'll shoot you an email again to update you. I would also advise you to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well, because what I'm gonna do is probably like make sure that the notification happens on there too. So if you ever want to like make sure that you're here for the session, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel for this to happen. But above all, like, how good was the first week? We had technical glitches, we had little things go wrong, but hey, we nailed this one. This one, like, it looks like I finally got it there. We've tweaked everything, and like, you don't stop, all right? Like, so I walked into this dark tunnel of live streaming from Bali, and it seems to have paid off. We've had a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure you've learned a lot. Don't forget, I'm looking out for that one person. I'm looking out for the chosen one. So maybe that's you. I can see the people that have been here to the end. Let me know. Am I going to see you on Monday? Are you going to be there on Monday? And maybe, hey, you've done some of this one gun stuff by the time we get there. But yeah, thanks a lot. I like all the messages. I love all the little emails of support and stuff. Really appreciate it. Andre, have a good sleep, my man. And yeah, we'll see all you guys on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Love yous, and talk to you soon. Cheers.